Hey, hit live right there, y'all. Uh-oh, not in front of the camera. Not you, Stacey. Because you...
At the club.
I know, somewhere.
Hey, where's the whistle at?
Yeah, however you need to do. I know, where are fans? Bow. Bow. Okay. Yeah. So, hey, y'all. What's going on? We're going to fix you on Facebook to make sure you're positioned right. I don't have my iPhone. Stacey, you can turn my mic down. Turn it down just a little bit, the first one. Yeah, turn it down. Just thank you. Thank you. That works. I don't know if Renee's is still out. So, hey, y'all. Yeah. What is going on? Do you feel like I'm positioned right? From here, looks like it's just more on Renee.
Yeah, right. It is.
Just a little bit. Oh, not. Yeah, just turn it. Can you turn the top?
Yeah. Straight, but.
Okay, I'm going to come. It's fine at this point because I know it's hard for you that way, probably. There you go. Maybe. Hey, y'all. Okay, yeah. Tell me, and then we'll see how it looks. Let me slide on in a little bit more. So, we're here, y'all. We back to chat. Welcome to Chat It Up with Coach Q. I'm your favorite coach and cousin with Breathe Easy Fitness Studio, Breathe Easy Foundation. Have the conversation now, okay? So listen, here back with Renee again. We're excited about what's to come in the next few weeks. As you know, Chat It Up with Coach Q has changed how we do things. We're every other week right now. If y'all hear like banging and jumping or something, for those who don't know, I'm really a grandmother of children that walk, right? Yeah, we'll clap it up. Five grandchildren. The ones that walk very well are my oldest grandsons, hence sons, boys. Sit down is like a fun word when they're young. So, yeah, they're here. And they're on the second floor, and yeah, that's where they are. So, again, welcome. And Boogie is outside the door, so we're chatting. I'm giving y'all all the scoop on today. The what was it called when I was in high school? The
skinny?
No, it's something begins with a P. Article. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Listen, I've never chewed gummies, and for those who said I did at that party that night. Gummies or something they thought I had. I ain't had none, y'all. That was all moi. I was all natural. But anyway, in the coming weeks, we're going to talk about men's health and how men deal with health. I heard that men have a menopause. Yeah. It's not called menopause. It's called something else. But men go through a stage where they're having to do things as well. So men, let us let you know about that. We're going to have a guest come on, and then we're going to also have another guest that's going to come on saying it's important to get a primary care doctor as men and make sure that you're going to those primary care visits. And if there's a follow-up, go to those follow-ups. Right. We think because we're younger, we're vibrant, that we don't need to pay attention to that. But I'm telling y'all, it ain't like it used to be where we could like navigate through stuff. And what pharmaceutical companies and drugstores on every corner has done, Renee, is really spoiled us, right, Dr. Debbie? And has gotten us used to medicating ourselves at home, right? And then some of us don't even like, if we get medications from the doctor and they say take it for 7 days and use it all up, most people don't use it. They want to save it for the next time they get it.
Right.
But there's a reason, you do feel better in a couple of days, but there's a reason they want you to finish this medicine.
Right.
They want you to finish the medication. So, again, we're going to talk about men's health, 2 different conversations on how that impacts things. And then I have another young lady who's going to come in and share about her business and also share some storyline of her testimony. I can't wait. So at least the next 3 episodes, which will carry us for a month and a half because we're bi-weekly, I'm excited. Today, though, we're going to start with some current events. That's what I was looking for. I said P. Today, we're going to start with some current events. 2 words. I was looking for 1 word. Some current events as to what's going on in the world, right? I know we've been plugged into our TVs and, trying to pay attention to actually how maybe even we can lean in and help some of the families that were affected by our most recent tragedies in DC and in Pennsylvania. So we're definitely gonna talk about that. But our topic today, so go ahead and like, share, and follow us on YouTube and us on Facebook with your friend. And it's talking about protocol in relationships. So for like relationship protocol, when we converse, we're talking about our opinions of protocol based on our experiences. And we want you to chime in because, again, it's a conversation. We're chatting it. We're chatting it up. So it's a conversation, okay? So let's talk about some current events first and foremost. The plane crash that occurred in Washington, D.C. with the helicopter and the plane. Every time I think about it, I get chills. Especially if you are an individual who flies or have loved ones that fly. Like, it really could have been any of us because it was, and I fly American. Even though I prefer Delta, I fly American, but American just happened to be the plane that was landing there. And that's a very busy airport. We're not here to really say who was right, who was wrong, what happened. That's not what we're here to do. We're here just to really send our condolences out to those impacted and those families, extended and immediate, to really those workers, the people on the ground, everybody, the search team. Like, Renee, it's so many people impacted.
Absolutely.
Like, every time I see the video of the two sisters, you know, they're, I guess before they actually went to their meet or whatever it is, like, my heart aches. And then the mom and dad was there, and they said normally the mom and dad doesn't go to the daughter's meet. But all four of them were together. I don't even know what my resolve is for that, other than, Lord, we pray your comfort. You said, blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. And as soon as we, you know, all the bodies, I understand, still haven't been recovered, have they?
Yes, that's what they've said, that they still haven't recovered everyone.
Yeah, and then it's cold.
Yeah.
Right? It's been cold, and then the people who got to go get it. Can y'all imagine being the search team that has to rescue? Oh, my stomach hurt. Like I'm holding back tears because, again, we just don't know. We can do everything right.
Right.
And right people transition. You know, we could be doing like what we're supposed to. And still, if that is the date behind our dash, guess what? That's the date behind our dash. And there was nothing that we could do. And Dr. Moss talked about it in church today. And I've been very passionate about this. And I know when I made some comments last time, I think y'all, in a day, I lost 1,000 followers in one day. But that's why I'm not tied to followers. I'm tied to what my truth is. And again, your truth doesn't have to be in agreement with me. However, I agreed 100% with what Dr. Moss said. That's been my story. I don't like, and I'm going to tell y'all what it is. I don't go back and forth with people. I have a tendency, based on who the audience is and what's the setting, to correct this statement. But I'm very passionate about it, and it's what I believe. And I don't even know if the people in the room believe this way. But when I hear people say, you know, when somebody transitions and it's like God needed another angel or he needed another flower in heaven, what we're implying is that these people died because God needed them. And death is not of God. Death, I mean, is a way of life that was brought upon us for those believers who know. But you mean to tell me that God needed my loved one and he wanted to, you know, so they had to go on a plane crash? It just doesn't make sense. Whether they go in their sleep, no matter what happens. Right. And again, my goal of this statement is not to offend. However, it doesn't mean that it won't offend you. And I'm okay with that. But that's not my intent. My intent is not to offend, but I don't want anybody out there to lose a loved one, or a loved one be in the midst of transitioning now. They could be home on a hospice or palliative care, whatever the case may be. I don't want you to think that that has occurred because God needed them. Like, it just, he created earth. If he needs flowers, flowers can grow and he can pick them. He doesn't need us to transition in order to become flowers. And angels. Right. There's legions. They said, you know, angels can be 5,000, 7,000, just even in a legion that fell with Lucifer, you know, when he kicked him out. So he ain't hurting for angels. It doesn't mean that your loved one isn't as a flower.
Right.
It doesn't mean that your loved one isn't as an angel. I just don't want anybody walking away thinking that as a result of somebody transitioning, that was because God needed them.
Yeah.
It is unfortunate, but that was the date behind their dash. And as surely as sin came in this world, sure as we live, we shall surely die. And so I'm going to get off that. But now then there was a crash in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And that was in a residential area.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, we live right near an airport.
Right.
Like our Walmarts, our Target, like we're right here.
Right.
And we just, it just goes back to you got to stay prayed up. And again, I'm not here to fence back to who you praying or who you believing in. You got to be prayed up. And I know when the rubber hits the road, people praying. Right. Like they may not, they'll say they don't believe in God, but they praying.
Right.
And I've heard, it was somebody who used to work with me who didn't believe in God. And he said, Lord, have mercy. And I would just look at him like,
yeah,
who have mercy? He may be referencing another Lord, but he said, Lord, have mercy. And the only Lord I know that has mercy upon us is the Lord Jesus Christ. All right. Again, y'all may decide to unlike, unshare, unfollow, and I'm fine with that. But I'm confident in what I believe and what I know. And that just kind of is what it is. Renee, what's your thoughts on kind of the occurrence or any comments that you have as it relates to the plane crash in Pennsylvania?
Well, just going back to what you were saying about, God really doesn't need any, like a person didn't die because he needed a flower, because that just goes back to, like you're not going to drown because, God needed another flower, or you're not going to die in a tsunami because God needed another flower. Mm-hmm. And so I wholeheartedly believe that. And, there's a beginning and there's an end for all of us, however that's going to occur, none of us really know. So, yeah, but I don't think when it occurs, it's because God needs another flower.
Right.
It may be that it's just that time,
yeah,
but not as, God needed another flower.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate. And it really, really is unfortunate. So again, y'all, we're not here to debate if, when, why, what. When people say it wasn't their time, it wasn't this, listen, we got to stay prayed up. That's just the reality of it. Pray for our children, pray for our family, pray for our loved ones. Right. So, our president.
Oh, God.
It is our president. And again, I know I have some Trump followers. Again, that is your choice. I want to make sure that we understand that my page, my platform is an empowering page where we work to be respectful to one another. And sometimes when I bring up topics like this, y'all start attacking each other because somebody is voicing their opinion. We have a right to voice our opinion. Mm-hmm. Where we can become interactive is when people start being disrespectful or they're coming against some group. So I ask that individuals be respectful. My goal here isn't to downtrot Trump at all. I have my opinions about him, but that's not the topic of this conversation. What we did was look at some of the tariffs that Trump is imposing on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China. Y'all listen. If you look at most of your stuff, like look at your garment right now.
Mm-hmm. Made in China.
Made in China.
Made in China.
So I'm just like, oh my gosh, when I go to start looking at like my TikTok shop, when I go to Shein, like what's going to happen with these $8.99 and these $500 cars? Now I'm joking.
When you go to Dollar Tree.
When you go to Dollar Tree, like this stuff, y'all, beauty supply stores.
Made in China.
Like a lot of this stuff. So it impacts us and it's going to impact the bottom line. But anyway, Renee, let's just, when I look through some of this, I'm like, what is the goal? There's a phrase that I heard, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Have y'all ever heard that?
Yeah.
Y'all know what don't throw the baby out. No, you from the South too, Chic. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater is normally like back in the day, you would, they had to fetch the water and put it in the bathtub, right? And normally the dad would take a bath first. Daddy is a worker. And so when daddy take the bath, after he get out, the water dirty. Mm-hmm. But then everybody else got to follow. And normally the last person that takes the bath is the baby. And so they be like, don't go throw the dirty water out and you ain't take the baby out. You know, so when I say don't throw the baby out with the bath water, it's like this. His goal was to get a handle on drug trafficking, which is important. Let's be clear. His goal was to make sure that we even get a handle on illegal immigrants. If it's illegal, it's illegal. It is what it is. Again, I'm not talking about your loved ones or anybody like that, but if we go somewhere illegally, we're illegal. So sometimes we have to separate, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's doing this to these people. Or I agree that maybe the method we may not necessarily agree with, but y'all, people are getting over here by any means necessary, and they're doing it through illegal means. And if that's the case, then there's certain repercussions that come with that. Again, I'm not here to debate that, but what I am saying is his goal is to put a handle on some of those things, and in return, we got pages of stuff that he's doing. Like, it blows my mind. I'm like, I don't even know. So one of the things that he mentioned, and so y'all, again, we're taking the first part of the podcast to talk about, again, current events. So the first one says, addressing an emergency situation. The extraordinary threat posed by illegal aliens and drugs, including deadly fatality, constitutes a national emergency under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA. It says, until the crisis is alleviated, President Donald J. Trump is implementing a 25% additional tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico, and a 10% additional tariff on imports from China. Energy resources from Canada will have a lower 10% tariff. President Trump is taking bold action to hold Mexico, Canada, and China accountable to their promises of halting illegal immigration and stopping, poisonous fentanyl and other drugs from flowing into our country. Y'all, fentanyl is really killing. It is a major situation. So again, I agree with some of the things that needs to happen. It's just the way that it's going. And then, it's like, you like, oh, y'all don't want to do this. So, it's almost like playing dirty. And that's why even as we go into the relationship conversation, you got to be careful having conversations when you're upset. Careful making decisions when you're angry, because you have a tendency of saying some things that you may not mean or doing some things that you may not mean. And he's like, oh, we just got to get through it for a while. But it's like, yo, like, when people say 2 eggs scrambled, we splitting the egg. Okay, we're splitting this egg because eggs are expensive. What is the prices? That's what we should have looked at. What are the prices on eggs? Let's look it up. What is the prices of eggs? I use Eggland's Best. I get 18. I know y'all. I mean, I'm not locking the Food Lion brand eggs because I've been there too. But look at that, all that stuff. It said the order makes it clear that the flow of contraband drugs like fentanyl to the United States through illicit distribution networks has created a national emergency, including a public health crisis. It is. Chinese officials have failed to take the actions necessary to stem the flow of persecutors, chemicals, to known criminal cartels, and shut down money laundering by transitional criminal organizations. In addition, the Mexican drug trafficking organizations has an intolerable alliance with the government of Mexico. The government of Mexico has afforded safe havens for the cartels to engage in their manufacturing and transporting of drugs and narcotics. So, y'all, that's the reason why these tariffs are going, using or leverage to ensure American safety. So he's doing, it's some stuff going on. Anything that stands out to you, Renee, that you want to kind of pull from this? Is keeping his promise to stop the flood. Like, so again, illegal drugs, aliens.
No.
Nothing. Like, it's there. Y'all, it really, really is. Now I'm gonna put this down. So, because eggs are high, Nate, what's the prices? What you say?
The average price of eggs in Virginia is $4.96, and the inflation was 70%. Also, they're not predicting the USDA. They're predicting that the price of eggs will go down by April 2025.
Okay.
The second quarter, and they'll go down to $2.50 per dozen.
Okay. Well, eggs for a while up and then they'll go down. This is the piece, though, of our president, because he is. I know people say, that's your president. If you in the United States, is your president, okay? Right. The part where, of course, the FBI agents and everybody involved in the investigation from January 6th, he wants to, have them fired. He's even associating the plane crash with his decision for, what is it, DEI?
Mm-hmm.
Like, some of the stuff, is, listen, listen. Y'all, it goes back to my original statement, even as we prayed for those who have transitioned. We got to just stay prayed up.
Yeah.
And what I've really been standing on, Renee, is some trust in horses, some trust in chariots, but my trust shall be in the Lord. It just has to be. And when I think back how we got through Hurricane Isabel, I don't know if y'all remember those days, boy. I remember we had to eat all our food because our lights were out. Those was some good eating. All right, we came together and we ate. But then when I think about COVID, when COVID first hit, y'all, that was so scary. We was like, how are we going to make it? Are we going to turn into the zombies? Like, what's...
Right.
Now we out here, y'all bringing COVID all...
everywhere.
Y'all going back to work with COVID now because it's like, what is it? It's like the flu or cough or whatever. I say that, and not to make fun, but I say that to say, as humans, we adjust, we adapt, we make it through. And I don't care how much eggs are, y'all. I ride past Waffle House a certain time of the day. Them folk packed in there with that Waffle House. Right. They packed at all these restaurants. We still gonna find a way to do what we do.
We still gonna eat eggs.
We still gonna eat eggs. We still gonna eat eggs, right?
Yes.
So we're gonna adjust where we need to. All I'm saying is adjust where you need to, call back where you need to. And I said, selfishly, and then we're gonna go into our topic. Selfishly, Renee, I'd be like, God really trying to help me with my Amazon and my purchases. Like getting all these tariffs, like increasing it. Like I'm thinking he's doing that so that way I won't keep buying
shut
stuff.
You down?
Yeah, so I won't be like, I'm like, Lord, you love me so much. You love me because you want to keep me, because you want to help me keep my promise.
I need to help you save some money.
I need to help you save. So I haven't been buying for me. I've been like buying for others. Like, ooh, they'll like that. Ooh, let me get that. Ooh, but I'm still buying because I said the month of February, I wasn't buying anything for me on Amazon. Nobody really picked up. I was like, for me. Right. So already it's February 2nd and I've been buying for others. But I recalled that and I said, I'm gonna not buy anybody.
In the month of February.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna do that. And what do you think this is gonna help you with, Renee? What is your vice?
Well, I don't know.
Aside from line dancing here lately.
Wait a minute.
Your video got like 7,000 views, and people want to help you pop the fan.
They want to help me pop the fan?
I noticed that you popped differently yesterday. Did Miss Connie help you?
No.
Miss Connie, you didn't help Renee.
No.
You already know how to pop the fan, Renee?
No, I still cannot pop the fan like Trey.
Because he said open the first one. Trey got that jank. Bow.
Trey got that pop.
Listen, and somebody, Kiki thought something was wrong with Dion fan because Dion fan went loud. She said, ooh, Trey got a loud fan. Trey got that fan. Trey said, boop. So it's in the fan pop, y'all. We don't have a fan popping class in the wrist. Pow.
Even got it.
Who got
it?
Serenity got it.
Serenity got it?
Plow. So it's in remove, but you remember the guy showed us. He opened the first one and he He did it.
Yes.
He did it.
Like I said, I pop my fan like I'm in Kroger.
Like you're in Kroger, like real slow. It goes out. Sugar bar.
Yeah.
Sugar bar. Yeah, we gotta work on that. So Renee, again though, what's your vice before I interrupt it? What's your vice?
What I want to do is I need to purge. Yeah, I need to purge. And so I saw something somewhere, and I don't know, it might have been on Facebook, but every day put something that you know you need to remove in a box.
Okay.
And at the end, move the box up.
Okay. Because what is it? What is the rule? And maybe Stacey can Google that. What is the rule? If you haven't worn something in how long? I used to know it. Then you should give it away. But there's some things you can't wear but once or twice a year because they that conversational piece already.
Right.
And, they said we have a tendency to wear them same black pants or blue pants. We can have a lot of clothes and we
true.
never we wear the same.
Because
I be looking at
the same thing.
my workout stuff and I'd be like, am I wearing the same? I ain't wearing it. 1 year. So if you haven't worn something in a year, you have to purge it. And that's what I did.
And I don't.
You don't.
And I don't. I really don't. You know, I have,
and we get so much stuff.
yeah, and then I have the nerve to bring some other stuff in.
And then you bring it in. So
Yes.
yeah, when I purge, I bring more in.
yeah,
And you organize. You can only have but so many like t-shirts and pajamas.
Right.
And all of that. Yeah. I go on Temu. Temu, I know y'all see them have those cute 2-piece pajama sets. I got about like 50.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm a person, I do change my PJs every night. I like it's just too much.
Oh, yeah, that's a little excessive. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't. I definitely don't change my pajamas.
You
every
don't?
night.
Every
No, I
night?
don't.
that has me concerned.
Who else? Y'all change y'all pajamas every night?
Y'all don't?
Oh, you say no.
Oh,
no,
she doesn't sleep in
none.
pajamas.
Oh,
She don't
okay.
sleep in it. She
Oh,
don't sleep in
okay.
pajamas either. Well, do you change what you sleep in every night?
Well, then that means that do you washing the sheets every day?
Panties and like you
You
wash
taking the sheets off every day? You taking the sheets off every night?
No.
Oh, no, Sunday. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. See, and that's once a week for me too. Like the
Your
sheets.
sheets?
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all, if y'all ain't washed y'all sheets this week, Renee is recommending that you purge and you go wash those sheets. Because when they start looking like shiny on top, like your pillowcase, that's not your hair product. That means they ain't been washing.
That's the matte.
That's that matted stuff. Like,
Sheen.
listen.
That's that matte sheen.
That's that stuff, y'all. So listen. Yeah, so Renee need to purge. All of us probably need to purge.
need to purge. I
We probably
collect
do.
too much stuff.
Yeah, I do that with Jordan now. I've been purging and all that other stuff. But I know the stuff I bought him for school, he couldn't fit. Like his shoes, I had to give him to my grandson. Like
Right.
He's grown so much, he walk up like I'd be like, I hear you, Jordan. I hear you.
Oh yeah, he's getting a little bass in that little voice.
He's getting a bass in that voice. He's turning his head like, huh? What? I said, fix your face. Like we had that. Every day it seemed like now we fencing back and forth.
Yeah.
So Renee, let's get some conversations, y'all. I get in my inbox all type of relationship like questions. And I wanna talk about one. I put one on my page. Not enough of y'all participated, so hopefully y'all will chime in today. And that question was, if you have a friend, and Renee and I are going to talk about it. We had like a very in-depth conversation about this. If you had a friend who had this guy, we're going to call this guy Tommy, okay, and we'll use Renee and I. Renee and Tommy are cool, right? Renee knows Tommy. Renee introduces me to Tommy. Tommy and I start dating, y'all. We become very serious, and we're in a relationship now. Renee has moved away to a different state. She comes back to visit. She sees Tommy. She goes running up to him, hugging him, wrapping her body all around him. And, you let that part kind of slide because that was a greeting. And then y'all go out, y'all come back home, and y'all just kiki ha-ha. And all of a sudden, Renee plops on Tommy's lap. Your boyfriend. Is that okay? That's the question I got. Is that okay for a mutual friend who's introduced you to someone? Is it okay for her? If he's like a brother to her, can she sit on his lap? Is your man?
No, because I'm not sitting on my brother's lap.
Okay.
And so, and I'm not sitting on somebody else's man's lap.
So you're a biological brother. You ain't gonna sit on his lap. So why would you sit on your brother cousin lap?
Yeah. Why would I do that?
Why would you do that? And especially if it's your friend's man.
Yeah, especially not even if it was my friend's man. If that man's in a relationship,
right? You don't do that.
You don't do that.
Is it out of respect or what is it?
It is out of respect.
Okay.
Because I want that same respect in return. What you put out is what you're going to get back.
What you going to get back? So at on Facebook and YouTube, just say yes or no. Is it okay for, the girl to sit on her, it's like her brother. They like grew up together. They cool. She don't want to. She's like, if I wanted him, I wouldn't have introduced him to you.
Or I could have had him. I don't want to hear that either.
Yeah. We don't want to hear that. It's basic respect. It's just basic respect. So no, you can't sit on my man's lap. Matter of fact, once you introduce and you do all that, you got to be careful even still being familiar because things have to change. Well, Corda, we chatted all the time. I talked and but it's out of respect. There's a protocol change.
What do I always say? Familiarity breeds contempt.
It does. People get real comfortable. They get real comfortable. And so you do have to be careful just being too familiar. It isn't okay.
It is not okay.
Okay. All right. Y'all heard it here first. So I don't know, what some of the comments I can see from the screen, like, no,
No, not at all.
not at all. Absolutely not. It ain't happening.
No.
I have a good one though, Renee. Remember we talked about this one.
What's that?
You're dating a guy. Mm-hmm. Okay. You're dating this guy, and I used to date him. Me and you aren't friends, but you're out with your guy. Mm-hmm. Y'all been together. And I used to date him, and I see him, and I see y'all out together. What is the protocol for me greeting him? I'm the ex-girlfriend. I see him,
And he's out with
with his current girlfriend, which is you. What is the protocol? Is there a difference if it's you or who? Like, what's the protocol? How should I greet him?
Well, if you separated on good terms, you say, hello, how are you?
Okay. Does that include any type of physical gesture?
No.
Okay. So, all right, we're gonna open the floor up in a minute. Okay, in a minute. So Renee is saying, if y'all left on good terms, it's hello, hey, how are you?
How you doing?
Okay, so there's a part B of that. We're coming. There's a part B of that. At that point, hey, hello, is it his responsibility then to introduce the ex-girlfriend to you, or you to the ex-girlfriend? Who does he introduce?
He introduces his girlfriend to the person that is now greeting him.
Okay. Good. The reason, I said good. Y'all know I agree. Like, first of all, ex or not, don't come up hugging Kiki and ha-ha. There's no hug, right? You just don't do that. Women have a tendency to do that because we're so familiar. Most men ain't gonna come up to a woman and she's with her man and hug the woman.
Hugging all on her.
But women, we get caught up like, oh my God, Tommy, and we hug.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go back to that part. We're gonna balloon that. Okay, she walks up, she says, hello, hey, how are you? You don't say, ex Quetta, this is Renee. Renee. Yeah, I mean, you don't say, Renee, no, this is X. You say X, this is my girlfriend, Renee. Does he put a title on it if you are established? Or does he say this is Renee?
Yeah, if you're established, she needs to make that clarification.
Okay, so otherwise he can just say this is Renee.
If you're not established, but he still should introduce the person that he's with first to the person that is greeting him.
Okay. So
That's
Renee say if there's no title, then you don't have to put a title on it. Because you know later on then she going to text and be like, is that your girl? Or y'all dating?
Right.
Or y'all, you know what I'm saying? And so if you introduce me and I'm not your girl yet, and you don't have to say that I'm your girl, but you better put your hand around my waist or something to let her know that we together.
There's a signal.
Yeah,
there's a sign.
There's a sign. There's something going on.
Right. That's
We
right.
may not have made it official because I don't know, whatever.
Right.
But
right,
yeah,
right.
okay. So there is a verbal greeting only. And there is an introduction.
Right.
If she stays. But if she's just saying, hey, how you doing? It ain't like he's stopping her. to
Right.
say
That's
this is
right.
Renee.
Yes, he should not be stopping her.
Okay, no, like ain't no stopping. Let her, hey, how you doing? Okay, so what if they just make eye contact and they don't verbally speak, but you see the eye contact? Do you question it?
If I see clear eye contact, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, is
And
that
that
someone you know?"
Okay, you're
You
gonna.
know, yeah, I'm gonna ask him. Is that someone? Because let's not do that. Like,
Yeah, let's not do that. Okay.
But if she's trying to be respectful and he's trying to be respectful, and they see each other, and it's kind of like Harry Scary. I don't really know what to do, and it's obvious to me because I'm at the table with them. Yeah, I mean, he should say something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So as Renee was giving her opinion in the room, Stacy about turned over in her chair. YouTube. I don't know if y'all can see it, but she about turned over in her chair. So, Stacy, you feel like if you
What?
see your ex-man with his new woman, you wanna run up to him and give him a hug if y'all left on good terms? What do you want to do, Stacy?
I mean, the hug thing, because like you said, women, we get swept up. And then it's also a matter of respect. So I was brought up in the church. So I would say the church hug, that you hug when your body is like 3 feet away, but you just extend your arm a little.
So we ain't gonna distinguish the hug. You feel like you should hug. You feel like you should hug.
Because it's different types of hug.
You feel like you should hug.
But it's different types.
I get it. You feel like you should hug.
The church hug. The church hug is fine.
So yes, you feel like it's okay to hug. But I'm just saying, whatever type you feel like it's okay to hug.
I do feel like it's okay to the church hug, but also right after you get finished, hey, this is my girlfriend Patricia.
Okay.
Patricia, this is so and so and so.
Okay. Sheik, what's your view?
Well, at first, no hug, but I forgot. I'm from Alabama, right?
Okay.
So if I go home, if I see my ex or whatever,
With his girlfriend.
yeah, I'm going to speak, introduce whatever. I'm going to hug him, and I'm also going to hug her.
Oh.
And nice to meet you.
Oh, okay. So you gonna hug both? She arms. Like don't.
Hey, girl, come on, bring it on.
So there's a way you do it. Like, listen, let me tell y'all what happened in real life. And we're gonna see what social media has to say. In real life, this happened, and a few people gonna know this. Atasha, Toya, Sherelle, Connie, and Trey. So we're out at an event, y'all. We're doing our 30K or whatever it was, and I thought the guy was the owner of a business, we'll say. And I thought that was his crew with him. And I saw him and I did. And I ran over and I was like, hey, y'all. I spoke to all the ladies. It was this lady. Hey, y'all. And I went up to him and hugged him. I was like, hey, how you doing? Good to see y'all. We out here doing our thing. And he was like stiff. And I was like, oh, no, he ain't tripping. Any other time he'll give me a hug. So I felt like he was bugging, right? And I come back over there. Connie said, his wife was looking at you like she was about to grab you up. I said, why would she do that? I spoke to all of them and I hugged. And I said, wasn't that such and such? She says, no.
Hence why you do not hug.
So it wasn't the guy that I thought it was. So he didn't know me. Hence why he stiffed up.
Yeah.
So what do you think the conversation with him and his wife was?
He might have been sleeping with the fishes that
Oh
night.
my God, I felt so bad. Y'all, we didn't even see him after that.
He was sleeping
I
with the
felt so
fishes.
bad. I think he worked with Sherelle. I said, Sherelle, when you go to work, you make sure you tell him I didn't know.
Oh my God.
They could have came behind me and bopped me in my head. Like I would have. Listen, I don't even know what happened. Connie came over there. Connie was like, that wasn't such and such. I said, yes, it was. She said, no, it wasn't. He's out of town. And girl, she showed me. I was like, I know you lying. I felt, y'all, this smart. I felt so bad. And I mean, I was like, I'm hopping. I was like, hey. And y'all know me and my gregarious. Hey, and I hug him.
Yeah.
Wrong move. Hence, sometimes, it got to be okay. You can't,
Yeah.
you got to be careful. Like hugging. I'll give y'all, I think y'all heard about this scenario. Like in real life, y'all know I was on a dating app. I had met like a guy and then I met another guy like a week later at the club. Not at the club, at the lounge, because I don't go to clubs. Let me fix it.
Okay. Tomato. Okay. Tomato.
Don't do me, Renee. At the lounge where you can eat and they play music. Okay.
And you can dance on the dance floor.
Right? But anyway, I see this guy and he like grabs me up and I'm like, ooh, yeah, right? Come to find out this guy knows the guy that I just met on the dating app that had my attention. Mm-hmm. And they run in the same circle. So I had to say like, I can't like hang out with both of them, right? Mm-hmm. Even though I wasn't anybody's. And I happened to see the guy from the lounge. Like a few weeks later, I let him know. I said, I'm going to be there. But again, I'm going to be with my guy. This is where I'm going. Mm-hmm. This is who I'm trying to chill with. This guy couldn't believe it. He like, okay. Like almost like let's make the best man win. And so I see him at the lounge and he see me with the guy. Yo, he was rude. Renee was there. I mean, he went to every point of that club, girl. He was looking at me like, and at the end of the night, when we left, he called me immediately like he was watching. He knew that me and the guy went in separate vehicles. And y'all, he tried to give me a piece of his mind. I'm thinking to myself, I wasn't even yours. Mm-hmm. Like we talked on the phone a few times. So I say that to say, people take it real personal. Mm-hmm. Hugs, no hugs, eye contact or whatever. I mean, he was posted up and then he knew the guy. So you just gotta... you just got to be careful out on these streets. So that's all I got to say. And men don't like to be like second choice or have their feelings hurt.
Yeah.
And believe me, women, we will not leave it alone. I don't care if you knew or didn't know, whatever the case may be. It goes back, bottom line, to, I'm sure all of us can say it. I forget who sung it. RESPECT.
Found out what it means to me.
Listen, it's all about respect. What are they saying out there? Is anything on YouTube, anything on Facebook, any opinions, anybody conversing, anybody joining the conversation, Stacey?
Yeah, Sandra Campbell said that that's so disrespectful.
Uh-huh.
No, it's about respect. RESPECT.
Yeah.
V Vita said not at all, and Sharonda Ryle says not at all. I tried to get them to expand as to why.
Yeah, y'all, it's not cool, but I think we can probably all agree that is bottom line, it is respect, right?
It is.
All right. So the protocol is, err on the side of doing less than more.
Right.
And I'm specifically talking to the ladies, the Stacys, the church huggers.
Yes.
Because the church huggers, y'all the ones. Okay? Okay? The church huggers are the ones. And unless I can see she hugging everybody, hey. Who was that? Oh, that was my ex. How long was y'all together? Oh, we were together 15 years and they've been together 6 months? Oh. Yeah, they going, already feel some kind of way.
Right.
So, that was the one? It just leads on to this other conversation. So you just have to listen. I just say proceed with extreme caution.
Really. That's so, because like she said, she's from down south, so everybody gonna hug. I'm from as far north as you can get.
Right.
And what just happened here?
See, so you get a down south, and she from Boston.
Yeah.
But she dating your down south man. They just happen to be home. It could run it. So you gonna try to hug, and so she's gonna say, "Bring it in."
I'm gonna be just like this.
That's why I said they go stiff on you.
I don't know why she hugged me,
who is
but you better get this straight.
And don't let that phone ding later on.
Yeah.
I know she ain't dinging you. Well, I got the same number.
Now Alabama gonna call and talk about what's up with your stiff girlfriend.
Yeah, Yeah, she don't even seem like your type.
Yeah.
Now he got to defend you and all that.
But it's not that, she from up north.
She from up north. North
quite
don't
friendly like that.
Yeah, they don't even it's funny.
Yeah.
So again, y'all, whatever that protocol is like, here's another one. And this is kind of fresh. If there is a change of plans, say even if you are, and we're talking about people who are dating or in a relationship, if there's a change of plans or a delay in your schedule, should the person who has the delay or the change proactively communicate?
Yeah.
Even if it's for an understandable reason, should they proactively communicate, or should you have to question them?
If there's a change on that person's behalf and there's some plans, then you have to reach out.
Yeah. And so if they don't reach out, say you had plans, there was an expectation. And again, the reason they didn't reach out, not that they were hurt, but they had a good reason that they didn't reach out, and you understood that reason. Do you still hold them accountable for lack of communicating?
Yeah, because I can't understand what reason there would be other than you incapacitated and, you like out like you had a concussion or something, right? That you couldn't talk.
But what if what I had to do was important?
Yeah.
A quick text, a quick conversation. And say they didn't do that. And then say if you reached out then and you're like, hey, so what's going on? Oh, I just got finished doing blah, 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 blah. I'm on my way back to the car now. So I'll give you a call in a minute. They still don't proactively do it. Do your temperature go up? Does it stay the same? How do you feel? They gonna give you a call back. They answered your call as soon as you called.
And they sounded like they were okay.
Yeah, they were okay. Now, given they were okay. They just said, they told you why they couldn't. They were right in the middle of doing blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, I understand that they were doing that, and you can understand why they would want to do it.
Right.
However, you're what you don't understand is why didn't you proactively communicate that then? Like let me know.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Right. But then when you call, they just said, hey, here's what I was doing. No apology, no anything. They just say, hey, I'm going to give you a call back because I'm on my way to the car. And then an hour and a half pass. You don't get no call. So you call back.
Wow.
And they're like, hey, we're really just wrapping up. I'm going to go grab me something to eat.
I'm not calling back.
Okay, I'm going to get something to eat. Right? You don't hear?
It depends on how many. Like if it's our first, if we never had went through that, and this is our first time going through that, and I need to tell, okay, well, I expect you, the next time this happens, I need you to do A, B, and C. Now, we on our 10th time you doing this, it's a problem.
Yeah, Stacy gave him some extra.
Yeah,
she
see,
said
10, not
times.
like, maybe even if it's second, third. So in doing this, would you hold them accountable for communicating to you? Even though their reason for doing it, there was an opportunity to proactively communicate. When they switch it and they say, I'm disappointed because, I explained to you that I was doing A, B, C, D, and afterwards I ran and got something to eat to kind of wrap this up.
In your effort to go run and get something to eat, you could have communicated.
It's just basic communication.
It's just basic.
And so, what do y'all think at home when there's a change of plans or there's a delay? Should you proactively communicate as the person who owns it?
100%.
Joseph says 100% yes.
You should. And then what happens when people get emotional? They get mad because you don't understand. You tripping. Like, what you tripping on? I was doing this. And you understand that, but you gave me your word. Yeah. And see, word is important to me. Sometimes people miss the principle behind it. I'm not talking about the comparison of what you were doing and what was expected to do, right? Mm-hmm. That you should have communicated, and communication is key.
Communication is key, and actions speak louder than words.
Yeah. So
by you not making an effort to communicate, I don't know how much you actually value what we're supposed to have going on. Mm. Because if you have plans, then the minimum you can do is say, hey, even if you call and say, I'm having an emergency right now, I'm going to be late. I don't know. How many was that? 5 seconds? I'm not sure.
Yeah. And sometimes it may not be an emergency. By the time you needed to do what you needed to do, you had this other thing planned, but it got delayed, which pushed you back, and so I think it's important to communicate. So that's another thing. So for even the individuals who send questions like, okay, he or she often gets upset when I hold them accountable for communicating when there's a delay or a change of plans. They feel like I should understand if the reason that there was a delay or change in plans was a good reason. It's not measured on the reason, right? Other than, like I said, you're incapacitated or something's going on. You have the inability to communicate. But when I call you, say if you didn't, and when I call you, there should be some proactive update. Hey, I'm so sorry. Some ownership. That's the word I'm looking for. There's ownership and not a push to blame. Now, I'm disappointed. I told you. It got pushed back. This was a priority. What was I supposed to do? Text, communicate.
Yeah, text or communicate. In these days and times, text or communicate. I don't care if you send up smoke signals. I mean, I'm gonna need something because other than that, I feel like you're taking me for granted.
You taking me for granted, and don't.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, don't respect and doesn't respect the time.
Because that is a lack of respect on your time.
Yeah.
If there's a window where you can communicate and you kind of laissez-faire about it, like, well, when this is over, I'll call her, or on my way to go get something to eat. You've had enough time to even think that through. So
yeah. And so we're biased because we're a bunch of women in a room, but if it's a he's saying that she had something, she just didn't communicate. She didn't.
Yeah.
See, like even me, I'll throw myself out there. On Friday, I was expected to leave somewhere at a certain time, and I didn't. I got caught up. I had a 30-minute delay, and then I was saying, okay, I'm gonna leave here at 11, and I'm gonna run home real quick and change and freshen up. And the person was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, even though, I was good. However, I think you and I had worked out or did whatever. I said, I'm good. And they was like, oh, I know you fly, Minister Karen was like, yeah, she cute. But I was like, I wanted to run home. I didn't leave her house till 11:30. And then I came home and got ready. So I was delayed by like an hour and a half. And I didn't say anything until actually I got on the road. Like I'm en route now.
Oh, okay.
So does y'all...
What press one of them buttons over there? What button is it? Crickets? Is it crickets? I don't know.
Should I have communicated? When I was delayed?
Yes.
Not before I got on the road. Like,
That's it right there. Yeah.
I should have communicated.
Yes.
You Facebook, y'all can't hear the I should have communicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have said. You know, men folk, they get upset.
Because now you're leaving an hour and a half after your scheduled time to leave. So that now puts you back however much time to get there.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah, it was like an hour and 15-minute drive and stuff. So,
and you know, you would have been tight if that had been you.
yeah.
You would have been tight. You would have been like,
Y'all,
oh,
these
well,
eyes
don't
in
even
this
bother coming. You don't even have to come right now. I'm good. Yeah.
I would have.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander, as they say. I know that's old school, but
Little real voice.
yeah. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Crickets.
I have no comments. I totally own that. However, when I show up, though, when I show up,
now I need to be.
when I do show up, when I do show up, and when I did show up, hey, everything was everything. Now, everything was everything. Now, here's the other part of that, y'all. The part of that is today it was the reverse. I was hitty hot. What's this? Yeah, what is that though? What is it? Clock it, okay. And I was hitty hot. And those thumbs went to work. The difference is I
See, she's stuttering now. She's stuttering. Yes.
Somebody
Stuttering.
It just came around.
She's verklempt, as they say.
I just wanted to give y'all, like, I wanted to see if it changed, if anything changed. Like I came, though. Like, I showed up. Like, I ain't got no words. I can't even look at the camera. This individual does not watch my podcast, so they don't have to worry about the conversation. However, listen, I was like, and there was some fencing. The thumbs were going back and forth up to probably 15 minutes before the podcast. Okay. So, the whole point of me being vulnerable and telling you all is you have to, you can't expect more than you're willing
to
give. Now, here's the difference.
What, my dear?
If here's a church hug.
Yeah, that's
Which means ain't no difference. Which means ain't no difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it a hug? Here's the difference. After I got all ready, and I was there. I was on my way. He didn't have to call me and be like, "What happened? You coming or what?" You know, he could have thought that probably I was already on the road. But I had to call like, "Hey, you come now? You going to eat?" Like, I'm confused. So, I guess the situation, the bottom line is the same though, right?
It is because you can't really measure.
Oh, I hear it. Go ahead.
You can't really measure your mishap versus his mishap and say, well, my mishap wasn't as bad as his mishap, or his mishap was as bad as my mishap. Like, you know,
bottom line, communication.
Yeah, that mishap is
key.
that mishap. That's right. And
Communication.
you gotta communicate, right? Because you can't start measuring. Oh well, mine is better. I was on the way. You know.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
That's what I thought. Like, cause I walked right into it. Sheik was like, "Dad, coach." Like,
Yeah. That was like the booby track, huh, Chief?
So let's do this. Let me ask: is it okay to always be late, as long as you communicate that you're gonna be late?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it?
Expand, Renee.
Look. So
First of
the other part.
First of all,
We're in a relationship. relationship. This is a
I
relationship.
don't know where she's going with that. I don't know where she's going with that. I don't know.
Listen, her
And Miss
eyes
Carter,
on it.
you better not say nothing either.
Nothing at all.
Keep your 2 cents
Oh,
to
I bet
yourself.
she is. What'd she say?
You owe the individual an apology. No.
Me, I owe the individual policy?
I say you.
Individual policy? Apology. It depends. That's why I say don't communicate when you're emotional. I wasn't emotional, but there maybe looks hurt. She laughed so much. Let's go back. We finished with that piece, Miss Corny. The piece I'm talking about is because you communicate, is it okay for you to be delayed or always late?
No.
Because we said communicate.
No.
So it still isn't, right?
No.
And so the other part of that, I was just teasing Renee. The other part of that is, and this isn't my situation, however, it is a young lady who said, you know, she enjoys her guy. They always do this, but he's always late. He's always delayed. But he'll communicate. Every time. She says every time, but he always communicates.
I mean, how can you just always be late?
Always. I don't know.
I mean, okay, you saying, is he like, okay, he's supposed to be there at 6 and he's there at 6:02? Or are you saying that
Do we take 6:02 as late though, ladies? If somebody's showing up they there at 6:02, we're not gonna split hairs like that.
That's what I'm saying.
She didn't tell me how late he was, but she said he's always late.
You live in Norfolk, like I need to know all the
Like
Yeah,
I don't
what are
know
the
where he
contributing
lives,
factors?
or
Yeah.
but he knows he lives in Norfolk when he set that time too.
Oh yeah,
know.
he need to get across the bridge.
He need to get across the bridge.
He needs to get across the bridge.
So that's what she's saying. So he's always late because he got to get across the bridge. So say 7 and leave at 5:30. Like what?
Oh, so say he's supposed to be there at 7, knowing he's coming from across the bridge, and he leaves Norfolk at 6:45.
Yeah, and then he late.
And so you already know you're
You
gonna
were
be late.
already late.
Yeah, you already knew. Before you left the house, you knew you was gonna be late.
And that shouldn't be every single time.
Right.
Right? So, y'all heard it here first that you should not just because you communicate, it isn't okay to always be late. So, my tribe, I'll take this opportunity to tell y'all, we have a 0 late policy.
Oh my God.
Okay? A 0 late policy. Now, I told them it'd be a different story. It'd be a different story, like, let me know. Now they want to let me know more than once. I'm running late. That doesn't, just because you let me know, that doesn't excuse that. The goal is to be on time, right? Is to be on time. All right? So, what comments do we have about that? I know some people got some opinions, and y'all, Miss Corny, what Miss Corny said? She get
They
it.
asked me, how can you always be late?
What did she say?
She said, no, you didn't ask. How can
Renee
somebody
asked
always
me,
be late?
How can you always
Renee, tell her you've been on time.
Listen, I'm not. First of all, I know where you're going with that, and that does not apply to me. Miss Connie.
God. Yes.
So-
Yes.
I am not always late.
Not always.
Not always.
Not always. Always is the relative word.
But then Miss Connie also said about the man.
She went back
Be
there.
on time. I cannot deal with you.
Uh-oh.
Held to the no.
Okay.
And I kick him to the curb.
See, Miss Connie is very passionate about being on time anyway because she's there
is.
30 minutes. She gonna be there 30 minutes
6:01
early.
is late.
Huh?
6:01 is late.
6:01.
See, I said 6:02.
Yeah, 6:01 is late. 6:01 is late. It is
Right.
late. What I'm saying is we're not gonna split hairs
Yeah.
about that. I remember going on a date. Remember the guy I met? I was going on a date and he was like, we were going to the movies. And I'm like, well, where you at? He was like, I had to take my daughter to school in Petersburg. I live here. Like, it was going to be trash. You knew you had to take your daughter
You
to
knew you
school
had to
in
take your daughter
Petersburg
somewhere, yeah.
and then drive back to Williamsburg.
Right.
Like, I couldn't because that's not on me.
Yeah, and I'm not psychic. I don't know
Like,
what
I don't
you
know
got
that.
going on.
And you're like, oh my gosh, now I'm in traffic. This traffic move. You fussing at traffic. It's not the traffic. It was
not.
that you were already late.
Right.
It was that you were already late. So y'all heard it here first. You heard some current events about what's going on with all these tariffs, all this, this stuff.
Yeah.
But y'all, we're gonna
This
eat our
ish.
eggs. The ish. Right? The ish.
The ish.
I know what I forgot to say for current events. Yay to the folk that were released. They were the prisoners in Jesus, y'all know all the people they had hostage. Y'all ain't been looking at the news that they released them in January.
Today.
No, I'm just saying they was gonna release them like a couple of Sundays ago, and they've been releasing them. It was like over 100 people. I can't remember. Y'all remember?
I think
And they
I vaguely
released
remember
them.
something about that.
They've released a lot of these people who've been. I think hostages for like over 400 and something days. Finally, their loved ones have been able to get them back. So it's funny, like when it doesn't impact us or affect us, but when it was our eggs, we knew.
Okay.
We'll know about
That was a
hostage,
direct,
American hostages, right? But that's direct impact, y'all. Again, if there's some current event or news, or we was looking for some even celebrity news, we want to chat about it. About the everyday ish that goes on in our conversations. And like I said, today we just talked about just protocol as it relates to relationship. And who knew that I was going to have my own example? This just happened on the weekend.
Be on the hot seat.
Be on the hot seat. Y'all also keep us in your thoughts. Chat It Up with Coach Q is looking, and many of you know I turned my my old office space on the first floor of my townhouse into my podcast room. The goal is to move the podcast room to the studio in our bigger space where we could have more guests and kind of just change the setup. I did a voice thing and I called you in at the end. You didn't listen to the whole thing. She said, but I'm gonna so that way we can have more guests, we can have the setup, right? And the studio is so big. I want to kind of maximize that so that way really our team can be out a little bit more and we can have the camera. So y'all just keep us in your thoughts. Keep in mind you can make charitable donations by sending it to us. It is, we are tax deductible, so we'll be sending you back something for your donations, anything that you can do to help. But we're trying to move everything to the studio. I got like lights all in the ceiling. Hopefully that stuff can be lifted and shifted. Most of this stuff pretty much can, but that's what we're looking to do by second quarter. So again, y'all keep us in your thoughts and prayers. As I always say, if there's any ideas or any topics that you want to chat about, please let us know. As a matter of fact, someone did say today they want to bring up a topic about, we talked about domestic abuse, spousal abuse, relationship abuse. What about children abuse to their parents?
Right.
And some of that is shocking because you would be like, not my child. Listen, y'all, they don't make these kids. I don't know what's in the water and stuff like that. However, as soon as you think not my child, it could be your child. So we're going to have conversations about, how does a parents protect themselves, grandparents protect themselves from the abuse of their children and grandchildren.
Right. Right. Because it does happen.
It does happen. And grandchildren run their grandparents too.
Yeah. That's
like
right.
You see that. And so when they make you a prisoner in your own home, y'all, that's scary.
It is.
So any closing comments before we wrap up from social media? Nope. We're all good. Y'all, again, I'm your favorite coach and cousin, Coach Q. And this is Renee, who's been with me like the last few weeks. She liked the conversations, y'all. She's been doing her darn thing, and I appreciate it because it's easier to have a conversation than just present information. All right, y'all, we won't see y'all next week. We'll see you the week after. And until we do, y'all make sure y'all inhale, exhale, breathe easy. Hey, YouTube, you hear the music. Facebook, you don't. But we appreciate y'all. Until next time. Bye. There we go. All right. Renee, I know you